Nelson Mandela, born on July 18, 1918, in a small village in South Africa, was destined to become a beacon of hope and a symbol of the fight against injustice. His tireless efforts to dismantle apartheid and promote racial harmony transformed not only South Africa, but inspired people across the globe. Nelson Mandela's quotes teach us invaluable lessons that are better learned when young, so we can avoid regrets in old age. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. It always seems impossible until it's done. Courageous people do not fear forgiving for the sake of peace. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. For to be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others. A good head and a good heart are always a formidable combination. It is better to lead from behind and to put others in front, especially when you celebrate victory when nice things occur. You take the front line when there is danger. Then people will appreciate your leadership. Do not judge me by my successes, judge me by how many times I fell down and got back up again. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. Resentment is like drinking poison, and then hoping it will kill your enemies. I am the captain of my soul. Money won't create success. The freedom to make it will. A winner is a dreamer who never gives up. No one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin, or his background, or his religion. People must learn to hate, and if they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love, for love comes more naturally to the human heart than its opposite. There is no passion to be found playing small, in settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living. One of the things I learned when I was negotiating was that until I changed myself, I could not change others. Freedom cannot be achieved unless women have been emancipated from all forms of oppression. I detest racialism because I regard it as a barbaric thing, whether it comes from a black man or a white man. The greatest gift in life is to be remembered. Difficulties break some men but make others. To deny people their human rights is to challenge their very humanity. Poverty is not an accident. Like slavery and apartheid, it is man-made, and it can be removed by the actions of human beings. Let there be justice for all. Let there be peace for all. Let there be work, bread, water, and salt for all. After climbing a great hill, one only finds that there are many more hills to climb. I dream of an Africa which is in peace with itself. If you talk to a man in a language he understands, that goes to his head. If you talk to him in his language, that goes to his heart. Real leaders must be ready to sacrifice all for the freedom of their people. There is no easy walk to freedom anywhere, and many of us will have to pass through the valley of the shadow of death again and again before we reach the mountaintop of our desires. I am fundamentally an optimist. Whether that comes from nature or nurture, I cannot say. Part of being optimistic is keeping one's head pointed toward the sun, one's feet moving forward. To be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others. If you want to make peace with your enemy, you have to work with your enemy. Then he becomes your partner. The time for the healing of the wounds has come. The moment to bridge the chasms that divide us has come. We can change the world and make it a better place. It is in your hands to make a difference. I stand here before you not as a prophet, but as a humble servant of you, the people. We must use time wisely and forever realize that the time is always ripe to do right. I was not a messiah, but an ordinary man who had become a leader because of extraordinary circumstances. Education is the great engine of personal development. It is through education that the daughter of a peasant can become a doctor, that the son of a mine worker can become the head of the mine. It is what we make out of what we have given, not what we are given, that separates one person from another. A good leader can engage in a debate frankly and thoroughly, knowing that at the end, he and the other side must be closer and thus emerge stronger. I am not a saint unless you think of a saint as a sinner who keeps on trying. There can be no keener revelation of a society's soul than the way in which it treats its children. There is nothing like returning to a place that remains unchanged to find the ways in which you yourself have altered. I dream of the realization of the unity of Africa, whereby its leaders combine in their efforts to solve the problems of this continent. People must learn to hate, and if they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love. In my country, we go to prison first and then become president. I have cherished the ideal of a democratic and free society in which all persons live together in harmony and with equal opportunities. I have fought against white domination, and I have fought against black domination. Without language, one cannot talk to people and understand them. One cannot share their hopes and aspirations, grasp their history, appreciate their poetry, or savor their songs. I am not truly free if I am taking away someone else's freedom, just as surely as I am not free when my freedom is taken from me. There is nothing I fear more than waking up without a program that will help me bring a little happiness to those with no resources, those who are poor, illiterate, and ridden with terminal disease. It is never my custom to use words lightly. If 27 years in prison have done anything to us, it was to use the silence of solitude to make us understand how precious words are and how real speech is in its impact on the way people live and die.